Hyper Light Breaker has come out in early access. It is a roguelike extraction hack and slash shooter mix, developed by Heart Machine and published by Arc Games. Overall, it has a solid foundation, but with a lot of balance and technical problems that hinder it in this early state. But its combat and exploration loops are engaging, and there is a nice presentation that has room to grow, but right now, you might want to wait and allow it to bloom a little more. You are a breaker and start out in a small hub world. The portal at the end sends you to the undergrowth. Once there, you can explore and fight, search for weapons and a variety of currencies, find holobytes from defeated enemies which you can equip to customize your build through passive buffs. The undergrowth is very unforgiving and you are constantly under pressure. You will eventually run into a group of enemies, but they may also just spawn in nearby. The difficulty will ramp up and you will need to find an extraction area before things get too difficult. Once you choose to extract, the game will give you a nice health refill, but you must fight a big horde of enemies before you leave. That's every time I go to Costco. Succeed and go back to the hub world with your currencies to buy new weapons, upgrade vendors, and unlock the game's various systems. Fail and you lose 1 of 4 revive attempts and the durability of just about everything, resulting in the loss of your weapons unless they are better than the common rarity, then they may last a little bit longer. Most of your holobyte upgrades can survive 3 failed runs before disappearing. Your main goal is to find prisms held by strong mini-bosses. As you gather these, they unlock boss areas, where you will fight one of 3 powerful adversaries named Crowns. Defeat the Crowns and eventually face the Abyss King. Win and you reset the world. Lose more than 4 times and you also reset the world. When the world resets, you get golden rations to unlock more perks at shopkeepers and a skill tree of sorts at one of the vendors. So at least you get something for your troubles. This is where the roguelike progression comes in, success through repeated failures. The combat system is solid. Ranged and melee attacks are responsive with dash canceling that keeps things moving. There is a parry system that once you get used to, is really helpful in avoiding boss and mini-boss attacks, but otherwise it's not really that important. Your basic attacks track enemies well, and it's easy to stick and move in the combat environment. This is important because you will need to constantly be dodging and watching for telegraphed attacks from even the smallest of enemies. Your ranged weapons are powered by batteries that you get from defeating enemies, encouraging you to use them sparingly and strategically. You have a special attack on a cooldown that, despite locking you in the animation and not having any invulnerability, is really strong when compared to your main attacks, which lack a little bit of power. In general, I like this game's combat and systems, but the early access version is very bare bones and has plenty of issues. While working on the review, they had their first patch, which fixed some frame rate issues and squashed some bugs, so the work has already begun. I feel that the game requires some balancing. The single-player experience is really tough in the beginning. You are swarmed by a large group of enemies, and with the constant pressure through the enemy spawns, your low HP, and the high enemy damage, everything is ramped up to 11. There are some long recovery times when hit, leading to stun locks and, well, this kind of thing. The exploration and thrill of discovery is constantly hindered by the constant pressure. Sometimes I didn't even have enough time to check my inventory before the enemies came back. It's a bit of a downside that you have to invest a few hours before things start to turn in your favor, and I know that many might not have the patience to stick with it. I found some areas of the map that were impossible to get back from, and I had to sacrifice my run. Simple solution though, just make the double jump higher or add mantling. You don't even get med kits to heal or any stat upgrades until after you fail a few cycles. They recommend you use a controller, but they have almost no control amenities. Next patch, I guess. I can't really recommend this game now. Let the game development take its course and wait for more balancing and improvements to the gameplay. As an unfinished early access game for $30, I feel it's a bit lacking in many respects. But oftentimes I enjoyed my short experience with what is only the beginning of this game's journey, and I wish the developer safe travels through the undergrowth of game production. I'm Dan T for Twisted Banana Productions. Please subscribe for more reviews and gaming content. Thank you for watching.